What is it about 20 that makes sense?
Fills all the
Toastmasters. Yeah. Who hasn't talked yet? Would have something to offer. Scott.
It fills the roles.
Say more.
Enough people to do all the different functions in the meeting.
Okay, good. Anything else? Yes.
Provide a level that is likely to be self-sustained.
Okay, one more.
You need an audience?
That's good. I like that.
One thing that people don't realize or think about is a 20-member club is strong, but yet there's still a lot of opportunities for people to speak and fill the functions. You get a club that's 30 or 40 members, that's great, but now all of a sudden you're not speaking as much, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, maintain guest information packs. How many of you use guest packages in your club? Excellent. Don't need to say more about that. Understand your members' satisfaction. Part of the membership deals with the topics that George was talking about so well, the brainstorming we've done and are doing. It tells us what's going on in the membership. The current members, what's their satisfaction level? Are they unhappy about something? Is there a conflict that needs to be addressed? Is there a lack of opportunity? Are there certain issues that the executive team needs to examine? So part of the role of VP membership is to get connected, some friendships, talk to people, find out what's on their minds, especially people that may have stopped coming after a while. Any comments on that? Someone who hasn't spoken. Okay, Bill, what do you do in PowerPoint Club?
Membership. We've got two things most important for you. One is to get new members, obviously. The other one is to achieve and retain. That's all I have.
Thank you, Bill. Handling a guest visit. What do you do when you have someone new come to the meeting? First of all, you want to introduce yourself. It's very straightforward to say, hi, my name's Wayne. Glad to see you here tonight. You don't have to say Wayne, you can use your own name. The idea is that you as a member must make that first approach. Make them feel comfortable. A lot of people that come to the meetings are, we just kind of want to hide out. I'm just going to sit in the back row and maybe they won't notice me. So you want to basically help people be comfortable, to realize that they're in a group of friends, that they are in a positive environment. Invite the guest to sit with you or one of your deputies, and we've been deputizing people as we go. We'll say more about that in a minute. Give them a guest packet and get to know them a little bit. Ask them why they're here. What is it they're looking for? What drove you or brought you to the Toastmasters meeting? And explain a little bit after the meeting of how we work. It's an educational environment, supportive, and explain to them what it's going to cost and how they can join. And Rebecca.
Oh, hi.
Roberta, I mean.
That's okay. What we've done in some different clubs is that we assign them a mentor, so that after the people go home, the mentor calls and sees what's happening. And for example, in one club, somebody was getting ready for a best man speech, and so we had a meeting where we did a fake wedding, and then the guy got to practice his best man speech.
Very good. Very good. Always follow up. Membership VP always follows up. Follow up with guests, follow up with new members, and follow up with members maybe you haven't seen in a while. And we're going to have the VP of membership deputize the other members. We talked about that. What does that mean? It means you need to coach the other officers and tell them a little bit about what it means to be a deputy. Have them sit with and welcome the guests. Sometimes you have more guests than you can cover individually. So each of the deputies would take on a guest. Ensure that they understand what is your role when you're host for a guest. And ensure that they understand what's in the guest info packet. In particular, the details of what it takes to join. Do you have applications ready? Do you know what the dues are if they join tonight? Because the dues change month after month, as you know. So I've seen in many clubs the treasurer would write up a little schedule. It says if someone joins in June, this is the cost for the 6 months. If they join in August, this is the cost for joining for the remaining 6 months and the following 6 months. So you then have the information at hand. You don't have to go digging for it. Is there another comment here? Was there another comment here? No comments. Vice President Education. Plan the meetings, the contests, the events, the schedules, the agendas, or deputize someone to do so. We've talked about delegation a little bit, and I'll say more about it later, but delegating is really a key in Toastmasters. Why is delegating important? Remember, we started out collaborative teamwork. Collaboration is what it's about. When you're deputizing somebody, when you're delegating to somebody, that involves people in the process, builds teamwork. The way friendships develop is through a shared experience, a common shared experience. When you're working together on something, you learn to develop the connection. That's what builds the teamwork in the clubs. Lead individual members, orient new members and show them how to do it, assign mentors and mentorships. Now, as Roberta was saying, the mentors can be assigned by the executive council. Each club may be a little different. In the VP of Education, it's listed as one of the duties. So that would be mentoring for CCs, CLs, and advanced. Orienting new members, you want to make sure that very quickly the new members have been in table topics, they've had a role in the meeting, maybe a functionary role, they've presented their icebreaker. Why do you want to put them on a fast track?
Become engaged.
What was that?
To become engaged.
Stand up and say that again.
To become engaged and not to be married.
So just rehearsing for the honeymoon or something. The idea is that it's to get people involved. Once there's an involvement, there becomes a connection. That's key. Success is the president. Okay, we worked our way around the septagon. We're now all the way back to the starting point for the president. How many of them here are presidents of the club coming in? Incoming presidents. So we see quite a few presidents here. How many in the room have ever been a president or will be? So if you look around the room, you see a lot of leadership at the top level. Well, the bottom line for the president is you're the advocate for the values and the vision of the club. What's the purpose of this club? Why is it here? It's more than the mission of a Toastmasters club. It's this unique personality and membership and community that makes this club successful. The president is the keeper of that vision. The president has to hold that vision, not only to think about it, but to live it and be it, and also to make sure the members are in tune with that. Club administration is part of your duty. Make sure that all of the assignments are being carried out. You need to schedule and chair monthly executive committee meetings. Sometimes it's done at the end of a meeting. Sometimes it's a separate meeting. Oversee the plan for the DCP. Fostering leadership. Does everybody know what their leadership role is? Have you delegated it properly? Are you, I think the real key here is active and enthusiastic. How do you build it? Go talk to George if you have any questions about how to make it enthusiastic. If you've ever been in a sales training, one of the things I say, what sells? Enthusiasm! And everybody stands and cheers. You ever had that experience? I'm glad that's over. Keeping the club at charter strength. Requiring manual speeches. Why do we require manual speeches? Why do we require effective evaluations?
That's how you grow.
That's how we grow. That's what the essence that that's what we're all about. The manual speeches allow us to work on our skills. It's not just to stand up and talk. It's to take a specific skill and hone it and work on it. How many folks in the room have completed a CC manual? See, just about everyone, nearly. How many of you have more than 5 CC manuals? Hold your hands up high. How many have more than 10 CC manuals? More than 15?
Alan.
More than 20? 21. Stand up. See, if you do 21 these CC manuals, you can be the division government director too. So, Alan, congratulations, kudos, that's great work. The point is that every time we make this journey, we're in a new place. I've got 10 projects. I'm working on the skills, but I'm in a new place. I'm working on my different skills, but I'm advanced from where I was last month. I'm moving. I'm going through that manual at a new level, at a new place. When I read those instructions, I say, darn, I didn't know that was in here. They must have added that since last time I read it. Have you had that experience? It happens. Executive committee is really the membership of all the officers that we talked about, this group of 7. Each committee member, each executive committee member is required to be a good collaborator, to add to an enjoyable environment. No whining, no carousing. Just make it enjoyable, make it fun. You hold the banner for that. Looking at club business with diligence, plan and follow through, and train your successor. Every officer, you want to get somebody coming along that can take your job, can step into it when you finish. And, let's read it together. Monitor your distinguished club performance report. So leadership challenge for each of us is to set realistic goals. And once we've set the goals, what's the strategy to meet that goal? If we've decided, as many of you in the room declared today, to be President's Distinguished, or Select Distinguished, or Distinguished, that's a realistic goal, I feel, for all 3 of those. So what's your strategy to get there? You have the 10 points. What's your strategy to achieve those points? What's your strategy to get the educationals? What's your strategy to get the members? How about the administration? Are you going to do it all on time? Who's responsible? So we collaborate among ourselves, among our members, make it all work. We monitor the progress, we coach one another, and that's how the leadership challenge is done. Delegation, I've referred to several times. I just wanted to summarize this. Many of you know it. The key to delegation is, first of all, what can be delegated. Not everything can be delegated. Some things can be delegated, others cannot. So you decide what it is to delegate. Then think about who's going to handle the task. You write the assignments down in the minutes. That's secretarial duty. And then you follow it up. How's that coming? How are you doing? Are you running into any problems? Do you have this under control? Are we going to make our date? Those are the kinds of accountability follow-ups that we do to make sure things happen. So when we delegate, we're basically giving people the freedom to do the task, but we also want the accountability that the task is completed. Again, this is the tool. It's all laid out in a careful plan. This is your research project from this meeting, to go look at this book and figure out your club success plan. Being an officer is this. Let's read it together. Being an officer is
A responsibility, a privilege, and
good fun for all. Now when you say good fun, do it like George would do it. Good fun. Good fun. Now we're going to form some peer groups. For each of the 7 offices, we'll have 7 peer groups, and it'll be a little cozy, but should be fun. And we're going to be looking at networking, sharing ideas, strategizing, planning. Those are the kind of things we want to talk about. If you have any questions or suggestions, now's the time to bring it up. So I'd like to divide it up into peer groups, and Alan and Martha and I talked about this a little bit. We think the presidents should come over here and hold up your hand.